Hello and welcome back to Clicks on the Side, and today we're going to be doing a 300-point modern theme team based around the monster keyword. The reason we're going with the monster keyword is because there are a couple figures that have come out recently that I have been wanting to make teams with, and it just so happens I can use both on the same team here. So without further ado, we are going to start off with the star of the show. From the most recent cons, I haven't been able to make it to any tournaments to try to win one, so I had to get one by other means, but she is here now, and we are starting off with the zombie Scarlet Witch. Love this sculpt, love the character. Really am a big fan of the Disney Plus show, most of the Disney Plus shows, and was very surprised we did not get some version of this in the Disney Plus set, but better late than never. Just love that sculpt, and can't wait to see her in action. Let's take a look at Zombie Scarlet Witch. Has the Mystics team ability, the Avengers, Monster, Mystical, and Zombie Horde keywords. Starts off at 80 points with a range of 5 and 1 target, and has a trait, Undead Hunger. When Zombie Scarlet Witch KOs an opposing character after resolutions, heal her 1 click. If that character had a point value greater than 50, heal her 3 clicks instead. Very, very nice there. Gotta love that it did give her some zombie theming there. She does have flight. Starts off with Running Shot, Precision Strike, a special defensive power, and probability control. That does turn into some Force Blast with Energy Shield Deflection. Later on, we do have Running Shot, Penetrating Psychic Blast, Super Senses, and Close Combat Expert. And then it gets a little jumbled throughout there with powers that we have already seen. But she does have a second trait, one that I like very much, and that is the Baba Yaga. When Zombie Scarlet Witch hits a single target with a range attack, after resolutions, place the hit target adjacent to her, and she may make a close attack. So there you go. Back-to-back attacks, as long as the first one hits with that precision strike, that definitely helps your chances there. She does have that special defensive power, and that is Trapped in the Basement. Super Senses. At the end of your turn, generate up to 4 blocking terrain markers within range in squares not adjacent to each other. At the beginning of your next turn, remove them. So there you go. Gotta love some Super Senses. That does make her a little bit more vulnerable on their first click, but she does have that probability control to try to keep her up. And then she does have that power to make the blocking terrain. Now, I wanted something special for her other than just your typical blocking terrain. So I did reach out to my buddy over at the Heroclix Makers Market, the Facebook group, Jeremiah Peterson. I've talked about him before. He didn't have anything ready to go. In this case, I think he said he just got his. But within 3 hours of me asking, he was able to come up with a design, and within 4 days of me asking about it, they are here. So these are what he came up with. He went with kind of concrete cement background and then gave it that chaos energy look, and I really like how they turned out. Also managed to put it on a red piece, so it really just pops in the background. And on the back, it does have debris should it get broken. Now, he can also put the numbers on there if it wants to be used as like picked up as an object. But I chose against that for this one in particular because I liked how clean it looked. But yeah, just another way Scarlet Witch, Zombie Scarlet Witch can stay up by creating some blocking terrain to protect herself. So that is the Zombie Scarlet Witch. Now we're not quite done with her yet because we are coming in with our second character From the Smash and Destroy set, he's become pretty popular. I didn't get it at first, but now I can definitely see his value. We are looking at common number 12, the bestest boy, Thori. There we go. Such a good boy. All right, let's take a look at Thori. For this build, he will be at his 30-point click. He has the Avengers and Masters of Evil team abilities of Asgardian, Avengers, Demon Legion, Masters of Evil, Animal, and Monster keywords. Does have a range of 4 with 1 target, and does start off with the trait, Will You Be My Master? At the beginning of the game, choose a friendly character to be Thori's master. That will be Zombie Scarlet Witch. Willpower, but only if Thori's master is on the map. So he starts off with a special movement, has energy explosion with toughness and exploit weakness to start off. That does turn into flurry with energy explosion, toughness, and empower. I did forget to mention he is tiny size, so he can be carried around. And that special movement he starts off with is Thori, get that one. Charge, flurry. When Thori attacks a character Thori's master hit this turn, modify his attack +1. So there you go. If you sick him on somebody Zombie Scarlet Witch has already hit, it is now a charge flurry with an 11 attack with that exploit weakness on his first click. Can be very, very deadly. The plan for this, and don't forget, he does have the Avengers team ability as well, so it could potentially be a 12 attack. The thought process behind this combination is for Scarlet Witch to, let me get her back up here. Let Scarlet Witch running shot up and precision strike some unsuspecting soul. So it's a movement of 4, range of 5. So any character from 9 squares away that is in line of sight, hit them. That's when Baba Yaga will kick in to bring them up close for a second attack, a close attack. Hopefully you hit that. If you do, and if they can't reduce, that would be 6 clicks of damage total. And then you want to try to have somebody else carry Thori up close enough to be within 4, so that he can now charge in on the on who Zombie Scarlet Witch hit, and now he can flurry for 2 more attacks with the exploit weakness. So I feel like that combination has some potential, and I want to see if I can make that work. Up next, we're going with a little bit of a random piece, and I really didn't think I was going to get this one on any teams, but it fits this one, and it can prove to be beneficial if done correctly. From the Spider-Verse set, we are looking at common number 008B, and we are bringing in the red symbiote, the Carnage symbiote. There we go. Red symbiote is going to be at 15 points for this build. Starts off with plasticity, poison, toughness, and close combat expert. On both clicks, has a range of 2 with 2 targets, and has the symbiote, cosmic, and monster keywords, and has a trait, seeking a host, blades, claws, fangs, shape change. When red symbiote is KO'd, you may place it on a friendly character's card. If you do, this game, that character can use blades, claws, fangs, shape change, and sidestep. Very, very nice. So obviously the plan is for red symbiote to die. Pretty much gonna put him up there as sacrifice, but he is just annoying enough that they will want to try to take care of him. That plasticity and poison makes him a great tie-up piece, And then the fact that he has blades, with the close combat expert, you are now looking at 11 attack for a 15-point figure that can potentially do 6 damage. So yeah, they're going to want to try to take him out, and then once he does go down, you get to benefit, one of your other characters get to benefit greatly. That does bring us to our next figure from the Smash and Destroy set, super rare number 39. We are bringing in Cinder. Just a gorgeous sculpt. Absolutely in love with this piece. Really feels like it should have belonged in Wheels of Vengeance. If any piece should have gotten the Hero Glow treatment, it should have been this Cinder. Just imagine if all that was glow in the dark goodness. But still, very solid piece. Can't wait to see her in action. All right, Cinder is going to be at 80 points. Has the Power Cosmic team ability as Guardian, Monster, Politician, and Ruler keywords. Has a range of 4 with 1 target, and she is giant sized. Starts off with a couple traits. Everything burns. Poison. When Cinder uses it, characters occupying or adjacent to any fire markers are considered adjacent to her. Period. Cinder deals penetrating damage. Period. So any damage Cinder does is penetrating, whether it is the poison, whether it is from blades, just a normal attack. Anything she does is penetrating. Gotta love that. Her second trait. When Cinder takes damage, after resolutions deal 1 damage to all opposing characters within 2 squares. So essentially, you're looking at Mystics on crack. And again, that is penetrating. Gotta love it. Starts off with Charge, a special attack power with Impervious and Leadership. Later on, that does turn into Invuln. And then you see some sidestep with Energy Explosion. And on the last 2 clicks, we have Flurry, Blades, Toughness, and Battle Fury. Let's take a look at that special attack power. War is Hell. Blades Claw's Fangs. When Cinder uses it, after resolutions generate up to 4 fire, smoke, terrain markers in or adjacent to a hit target square. At the beginning of your next turn, even if this is lost, deal 1 damage to each character occupying those markers. Then remove those markers. So there you go. You get to do that penetrating damage at the beginning of your next turn, and then they go away. Now, it took me a minute to figure out how that went together with Everything Burns with the poison. So the only way that's going to work is if you have a different character that can also generate fire markers, because notice, Everything Burns just says fire markers. It does not specify her fire markers. However, if you do the blades without moving, so if you already have her in position and she does blades, then you can poison afterwards and take full advantage of her own fire markers, potentially twice, to poison after the blades and at the start of your next turn. Yeah, very solid piece. Can't wait to get her on the board and give her a try. So we are going to need some support here. And with that is my favorite support piece when it comes to the monster keyword. I'm going to be very sad to see her rotate out. But we are looking from Wheels of Vengeance, super rare, number 41B, Lilith Prime. Such a good piece. Great keywords. Again, gonna be very sad to see her rotated out. You go right there, actually. Let's take a look at Lilith. For 50 points, does have the Power Cosmic and Mystics team abilities, the Deity, Monster, Mystical, and Ruler keywords. Like I said, great keywords for this piece. We're going to change that up just a little. There we go. Sorry about the shadow there. All right. Does have a trait. Advisor to many lords of hell. Enhancement, Empower. Free. Place Lilith adjacent to another friendly character that shares a keyword with her. That's right. It doesn't mention anything about range or how far. Just place her adjacent to a friendly character. Since this is a theme team, that will not be a problem. And then just like that, you have enhancement or empower where you're needing it. Has a range of 4 with 1 target. Starts off with plasticity, poison, mastermind, and support. Later on, she does get facing teleport with steel energy, super senses, and outwit. Like I said, an amazing support piece, but she's not quite done yet. She does have a second trait, My Beautiful Child. Power, once per game, choose a character with the monster keyword on your sideline. If that character's point value is less than the total point value of all characters in your KO area, generate it on its starting click. Your opponent scores that character now instead of when it's KO'd. So you do lose points doing that. I did not pick a specific monster for this team. There are so many options with the monster keyword now, so pick your poison. But it is nice to have that option should you need it. You got some big hitters here. If they go down, there are some decently point valued monsters that could definitely come in to try to save the day. That is Lilith Prime. Again, a solid piece and a great support character. That does leave us with our last piece for this build, and it is the second piece that I really wanted to make a team build with. Newer, very glad that it exists in the Heroclix world. It was the latest promotion from the WizKids store for a purchase of $50 or more. That's right, we are looking at the Jersey Devil. The only bad thing I have to say about this guy is I wish we would have got Mothman first, but I have a feeling Mothman is well on his way, and I'm glad to see we have the Jersey Devil. If we get a Chupacabra, I will be a very happy camper. But yes, there is the Jersey Devil. You know what? We are going to switch you up. You go back. You go there. All right. Jersey Devil does have the Mystics team ability, Monster, Mystical, and Past keywords. He is going to be 45 points for this team build. No range, 1 target, and does have flight. Does have a couple of traits as well. The first one, and let this one be a devil. Sideline active. When a friendly character is generated, if Jersey Devil is on your sideline, give Jersey Devil a curse token. If he now has 13 curse tokens, after resolutions, replace that generated character with Jersey Devil on its green starting line. Now, I do like the idea of this. 13 seems awful high. Now, I get for what he can do, I do understand it. What I would have also done, since he has 2 starting lines, I would have made it 13 or 6 and 7 or 7. So if 13, you get to bring him out at click 1, 6 or 7, you get to bring him out at click 4. That's the only change I would have made. 13 seems awful high. You really have to try to make it work to get 13 generated characters. But don't have to worry about that for this particular build. The second trait is Stalking the Barons, and that is just as simple as it sounds, stealth and super senses. With that, he starts off with charge, blades, toughness, and shape change. So gotta love shape change and super senses at the same time. After that, he does go to sidestep with a special attack, toughness, and that shape change does stay. Let's take a look at that special attack power. Piercing Shriek. Pulse Wave. When Jersey Devil uses it, hit opposing characters modify their defense -1 until your next turn. Very, very solid. One more look at the Jersey Devil. Again, very excited that WizKids is doing something a little different with their exclusives these days. Instead of just repeating the same characters over and over again. These cryptids are really doing it for me. I think the only ones I'm missing, the only cryptid I'm missing is the zombie unicorn. So I am keeping an eye out for a deal on one of those. I didn't do the shark. I didn't do the zombie shark, but not really on my radar. Love the Bigfoot. I want to try to get him on a... I have him on the Arnhem Zolam team, but I want to do something else with him. Got plans for the Battle Gnomes. You're going to be seeing them before too long. Yeah, and again, really hoping for that Mothman to be... if you saw my Killer Moth video, there is a B version of him, and I'd be very surprised if that is not the Mothman. But that has been it for this video. That is my take on a 300-point modern theme team based on the monster keyword, featuring Zombie Scarlet Witch and the Jersey Devil. Let me know what you think, any changes you would make. Again, shout out to Jeremiah Peterson for hooking it up. Very fast turnaround on those pieces, and great work as always. But that has been it for me. Thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, this has been Clicks on the Side.